Hey there, it's Jen, and I'm creating a layout today for Hip Kit Club, and I'm doing a pocket page, which I don't think I've ever done with the Hip Kit, but I do pocket page spreads in my 6x8 album, and I don't do like a project life or anything. I call it my whatever the crap I want album, so I just put whatever the crap I want in there. And I thought it would be fun to create this layout of these photos of my daughter as Minnie Mouse last Halloween, because I hadn't scrapped them and there were a bunch of them that I kind of wanted to include, so I thought this would be a good way to do that. So I picked out some cards that I might end up using, I'm not exactly sure yet, and then also some embellishments that I think might go well with this, and so we're going to see where that takes us, and I'll talk you through the process. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing this October card. And I decided to do kind of a tone-on-tone look with these little tiny exclusive alphabet stickers that are purple. So I'm going to spell out the word Halloween. And I realized that this kind of title or whatever doesn't make that much sense because it's going to say October, Halloween, and leaves. But I don't care. So the Halloween didn't go all the way across that. You can see it's off-centered, and so I decided to just stamp 2018 in a purple ink that from my stash, just using a roller date stamp, and I'm going to stamp it sideways so that it kind of fills up that space. And then I will finish working on that card in a little bit here. I'm pulling out these different cards, trying to figure out how I want to do this, and I know that I don't need that much journaling space. So right now, all three of those cards have a lot of journaling space, and so I'm thinking about a way that I can switch it up. And I thought about using this card that's a 4x6 and cutting it down to 3x4. Both sides of that can be used. And I do like the way that pattern kind of fills the space. Right now, it feels very purple heavy, but I will add some more red accents and some yellow to bring in the leaf color to kind of tie in my daughter's costume. I think this is a common problem with Halloween photos, that your pictures aren't necessarily like orange and purple, but I think that you can make it work by just incorporating other colors. I cut out that little pumpkin out of one of the cards, and the word leaves, I like the way that the L kind of nestles in next to that banner, but there was a weird, then it wasn't centered again. So I just added that pumpkin to make it feel more balanced. And so you can see that I do that a lot. If something doesn't feel balanced, I'll just add in another thing. So I'm looking at all of the chipboard and the stickers and the, what are they called? Puffy stickers to try to decide what I want to add here. I don't want to go too overboard. I thought about using that little half circle punch. I like doing that on my pocket page spreads to add a little something. And if I needed to add the date somewhere, I think that would have looked nice, but I decide against it. I don't have anything round that I want to include, so it just doesn't really make sense. I added a few little hearts to fill in that space to the right of the pumpkin just a little bit more, and I feel like it's a lot more balanced now. Originally, I had decided that I would add in some blue to kind of tie in the blue on my door, but it just doesn't end up happening, and I think it's fine without it. So we get these awesome acetate leaves, and I thought it would be fun to kind of fill up the bottom of that card with just some overlapping layered leaves, and that eliminates one of the spaces that looks like it could be for journaling, and I don't want to add too much journaling, so I think that will work out really nicely. So I'm just going through and making sure that I specifically grab some red ones, and I'm going to also include some orange and kind of some that have pink on them too. I think some of the lines on the leaves are purple and pink, so just really fun, just a little cluster here, and I think that this card turns out really fun. So if you like to embellish and you like to decorate and you still want to do pocket pages, you can go all out on one card and then keep the rest fairly simple, which is what I end up doing with this one. So I decided to cut up one of the cards that had all of these labels on it, and I'm just using a circle punch to punch out the little notches on the end. That's a little trick for you. And I cut out the red one because, again, I'm trying to bring some more red in to tie in her little Minnie Mouse dress. and I'm going to use that label for just a little bit of journaling on that card with all of the leaves. Now what I'm doing is taking those clear acetate pieces and I'm sticking them in my Xyron sticker maker, because that puts an even coat of adhesive all along the back of those leaves, and then you can't see the adhesive. So you just have to stick it through and then make sure you rub it down so that all of the excess adhesive around the outside of the leaves gets off of them, and then you can just peel them and stick them down just like a clear sticker. So I'm just kind of starting on the edges and then adding these leaves all around, and that little one I'm going to kind of add above the rest. The rest are coming up off of the bottom. So I'll just trim those off, and I think that it turned out really, really fun. I keep the bottoms of these for whatever reason. I'll probably never use them, but I kept them because I made them into stickers. I'm going to put that orange piece, I'm going to end up putting it on the bottom of the card, just because I felt like it balanced better there. And then I'm going to go on to the right hand side and see what I want to add here. There was one little piece that said crunchy leaves, and I knew I wanted to include that for sure. So that is that chipboard piece up on that top photo. I'm just writing the beginning of my journaling with a white Jelly Roll pen on that red tag, and then I'm going to write the remainder in the circle wreath here. And I'm just writing about how my daughter I'm not super into Halloween, but my daughter and my husband are. And Malia completely made her own costume this year. She took a red dress she already had. She used my giant 4-inch circle punch and punched white circles out of paper and glued them onto her dress with a glue stick, which at first I was like, oh, I can't believe you did that. But it ended up coming off really easily. She wore black leggings, and she found a little bow and put her hair in 2 buns, and she was adorable. So I'm stapling the chipboard on. Usually when I create pocket pages, I'll peel off the back layers of the chipboard so that it's thinner, and so I did that with that particular piece. And now I'm looking for something else that I can embellish that little leaf card with. I'm not exactly sure what yet, and I'm still thinking here about adding some blue in, but again, I end up not doing that. So I thought maybe I need some little hearts. I added some to this card, and then I added some to the leaf card, and I didn't really like it in either place. I'm trying to find just the right colors, and I kind of just don't have them. And so they're going to hang out there, but I'm going to take them off, and it just doesn't end up working. So I'm thinking about what to add. I think maybe that a little word strip above that journaling would look nice, or maybe that little circle that says love on it might look nice. So I'm kind of going through the embellishments and trying to decide what to add there. And the flower looks pretty good there, and so I'm considering that. I leave it there for a little bit. But in the end, what I decide to do is go to the stamp set, and I think I'll pull that out here in just a second. But there is a cute little phrase that says thankful for you or something like that. Now I can't remember, but it worked well here, and I decided to stamp it on orange with my purple ink that I already had out, and it ends up looking fine. And I just cut that out, and I made a little banner end on it, and I'm going to staple that down. So here I'm making the little banner edge and then placing it down, grabbing my stapler, and then trimming off the edge and making sure that's adhered. And that's pretty much going to complete this. Now, what I didn't realize this whole time was that my page protector on the left was upside down, so that 4x6 card actually goes on the bottom. It ends up working out, but I was kind of a little bit disappointed at first. But I just switched things around so that all the white is balanced, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this. Be sure to head over to the Hip Kit blog for more photos and information. And here are some close-up photos coming up. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments section below. and I will have all of the available products linked in the video description. Here are a couple other videos that you might enjoy if you liked this one. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I also hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching.